Alright, people, my heart kind of beating fast here. It's been a while. Actually, I'm doing this every weekend and maths class. Maths class continues. So if you just tune in, you'll have to skip ahead. You'll have to skip ahead. Because I'm now about to share the link with the group here. So you just skip ahead to where the real video begins. Alright. I am live. Copy link. Let's get this bread. Alright, so who inside? Why is in the chat? If you're inside the chat, type Y. Patrice, I see you. Dun, 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 dun. As I said, no, some things about this pure maths class. It's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be a little grind in the beginning. For this month, what am I doing? July, August, September, maybe even up to September, November, it'll be a grind. I predict like the class numbers will be low. People wouldn't be watching it in the live, people will be watching it after, people will be enjoying the holidays. And the group might, it might just have the diehards here actually. So, but we'll see as soon as exam season reaches around and the adrenaline starts to pump, that's when everybody will be paying massive attention. But I want to encourage you, whoever is here so far, let me see how much people are here, because I'm not seeing any Y's, I've only seen one, Patrice, to stick with the grind. Alright, I've seen 5 people on the inside. 5 people. 5 people from 50 something from the AdMats. Right, so it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. This July, August, gonna be rough. But we're gonna be teaching these 5 people on the live, and the other people who come in after. A few people told me they wouldn't be able to take in the live, but they'll have to take the video in afterwards. Shania, Patrice, Megan. Alright, so today we're going with these numbers. Today, what we're gonna do is let me just snap it from my phone. We have some just the usual thing you do at the start of a class. We'll look at the syllabus. This will take a little while, but I'll try to speed through this. Alright, I've seen more people strolling in class late. We look at the syllabus. We look at the exam and the papers, or what happening. Then I'll recommend some textbooks. Look at the textbooks recommended, and I'll recommend my own textbooks. Then we're going into the actual meat of the class. This might actually take half of the class, that first piece. It'll be kind of boring, but important. Then we're going to start with the logic and reasoning. The first part in the syllabus is logic and reasoning. So we're going to look at statements and propositions. Statements, proposition, truth tables. Hoping we could pass truth tables, reach up to negation, and even pass negation into compound statements. And conjunction and disjunction. So anybody know anything about these topics, by the way? Let me see if anybody know anything, if anybody read about anything. Anybody know anything of these topics? Y or N? 4 people here. Alright, so we have Christopher. we have Braden, we have Megan, we have Shania, we have Patrice. So that's a big note from Shania. So we do know about these topics. So we're gonna I see my handwriting has remained the same here. So we're gonna go through these topics and you'll get a little taste of the pure maths. When you're going through the syllabus, you'll see how much of AdMaths actually there, which is a little bit, but it's foundational. If you did do AdMaths, pure maths would be very bleak for you. Let's just get into it. So, pure maths syllabus. So this is your pure maths syllabus here. I'm blocking module 1, module 2, and module 3 right here. But that's unit 2, so we don't really care about this. This is unit 2, right? Unit 1 is what we're going to do. Basic algebra and functions. Now, to be honest, nothing about the algebra and functions here really basic when you think of it, right? But they write that. For most of you all, this might be as advanced in maths as you go. Trigonometry, geometry, and vectors, and calculus 1. Everybody know what calculus stands for, right? Calculus is actually what we know as differentiation, and integration. Alright, so the number's at about 6 or something now. It's 7 in Trinidad. Yes, it's 7 o'clock in Trinidad. Oh, some people in Jamaica and they think 7, so yeah. So this here looks good. You watch this here and you think, I know all of these stuff already, but they kind of take it in a new let's see where they take it. So we're not going to look at all of this, but I'll walk us through this very quickly, so you'll get an overview of all the stuff we need to learn. Let's go. Bam. So the first set of stuff is algebra, geometry, and calculus. And this is what we're going to get into today. Develop the ability to construct simple proofs. Well, not really that, but this is the objectives for this part of the module. By the way, you'll see that each one has 3 modules, right? 1, 2, 3 modules. Each part has 3 modules. 2 units, unit 1, unit 2. Any questions, by the way? I should ask that. Anybody have any questions on what we talk about so far? We didn't talk about much. If you have any concepts, like ideas of what you have any misconceptions of what's happening. So this is the general objectives for this module here. It's basically proofs, some functions, algebraic expressions. Modules just be like sections, yeah. Equations and inequalities, logs, and modeling. But this modeling normally get tested in your SBA. We talk a little bit about what the SBA in pure maths looks like. Reasoning and logic, identify simple and compound propositions. So that's what you're going to do today. See this tiny little spot here? We're doing that today. Let's look at what's next. Let's not stick. I'm trying to keep in my mind where am I? I'm not there. I need to get a nice thing that could scroll easier. Alright, I'm kind of missing out piece here, but I'm going back. Because we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the logic part here. But reasoning and logic is the key. So you need simple statements, truth tables, converse and contrapositive statements. We'll talk about that. Logical equivalence, identities involving propositions. So there's identities in proposition. There's some laws, just like how in indices there are some laws. There are some laws in reasoning and logic. Modules just be like sections in the exam here. Yeah, you could say so. Yeah. But we come into we'll talk about the exam and you'll ask me questions on the exam when we reach there. Next picture. all these pictures taking kind of long to load. I might just skip all these pictures altogether. Then you go, so part A was reasoning and logic. Part B is the real number system. The real number system sounds nice, but then they're going to ask you to do some proofs. 3 types. I think there's 3 types of proof or 2 types of proof we are having this. By the way, I little rusty in this. I did maths up to engineering level, and I taught pure maths in private lessons for a very, very long time after that. Well, not a very long time, but about 5-6 years after that. But I didn't teach pure maths last year, so a little rusty. Using the summation, notation, mathematical induction. So the big boy in this is mathematical induction, and I think one of the only videos I have on pure maths on YouTube right now is on mathematical induction. So you could go and watch that and be mesmerized for now. So we aiming to try and finish a good chunk of module 1, which is algebra and functions, before the holiday is done. Right? As I said, the holiday is grinding and be a rough grind. You all will take note of this. The numbers might be just real pathetic, but then it will start to climb back up as the time goes and you get closer to the exam and people start to feel the heebie-jeebies. Alright, so next up you need to, well, this is just the content for this. So the syllabus, a little confusing. If you watch the syllabus, it's a little confusing. How they list everything. Trying not to stick and go through this whole thing so long, but okay, if you had to go through the whole thing, you had to go through the whole thing. Alright, so part C is algebraic operations, factor theorem, remainder theorem, and part D is exponential and logs. Now this is what you're seeing at maths, but it's getting a little more crazy. The logs and all, everything is like the same here in AdMaths, except they add on a little more. You'll notice that in chemistry too. Anybody plan on picking chemistry? When they do chemistry, even for everything, chemistry, physics, I did chemistry, physics, maths. They start them, you notice this, oh, this is the same thing, and then they unveil a whole, it's like the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, and they unveil the whole dark part of it there. So some people may be doing business. I think, Shania, are you doing business? Chem, yes. Chem out of the question for you. So you're not doing chem then, Shania? Alright. It's kind of hard to organize these photos here right now. Let me just talk about it for now instead of putting all these photos, because I don't want to take too long on all of this. So yeah, you have 3 modules. The first module is the algebra, functions, and basic algebra and functions. Right, so basic algebra and functions. The real number system is where we reach as an expert algebraic operations in terms of factor theorem, remainder theorem, exponential. I'm going to do pure, applied, and IT. That are real maths heavy selection there, but that is a much needed selection you will get through in universities with that. Especially if you go down the IT route, it's safe. Alright, exponential and logarithmic equations, all of that. Functions, the modulus of a function, that gets kind of crazy in pure maths as well. Cubic functions and equations. Remember you did quadratic, so now you're actually going to do cubic. Then injective, surjective, and bijective comes as well as the inverse functions, cubic equations. So you'll see back those things familiar again, but then there'll be more. Also in pure maths, you would have, I'm going to do, alright, actuarial science, good luck. You would also remember in AdMaths, you see X, you have the XY, the Cartesian plane. You're going to introduce the next dimension for you, X, Y, Z. So there's going to be some vibes, right? Then you're going to module 2, which is trigs, geometry, and vectors. Trigs, geometry, and vectors. So module 2 was the trigs, geometry, and vectors, right? But in all of these things, as I said, it's not going to be x and y. In the geometry and vectors, it's not just going to be x, y, it's going to be x, y, z. So you'll have some fun with that. Trigs identities, they're going to unleash some more on you. Instead of just sine, cos, and tan, you'll have cosec, cot, and secant, SEC. Alright, so secant. So you'll have some stuff to deal with there. Compound angle, the identities going to be a little crazier. You'll have equations in the form sine k theta is equal to s. And we'll cross those bridges when we reach there, right? So coordinate geometry gets a little boost state as well in terms of tangents, the circle geometry, everything, including something called locus or loci for plural. Hey, no freezing up here, bro. Everything freeze. iPad freeze. So LOCI. Let me see some Y's in the chat if you're still seeing me. Because this thing freeze here right now. LOCI. That's the next. Right. LOCI. Right. So this is the next topic here. That is the brand new topic in this whole thing. We cross that bridge and reach there again. Vectors. Once again, you'll have two types of products: scalar product and vector product. Then you're going to calculus. Hey, Quinn, good to see you. Then you're going to calculus. Now the calculus here borrows a bit from the ADMATS, but then it goes, it starts to go a little soft. You notice too that in differentiation, they can't do much in differentiation. Like what you learn in differentiation in ADMATS, yes, it gets a bit more drastic, but it doesn't get out of hand. You see, this thing called integration, in unit 1 is going to show its head, but in unit 2 especially, it's going to get terrible. It's going to get, I don't want to use the word terrible, it's going to get challenging. That's the politically correct word that every SES student use. Challenging. It's going to be challenging. So brace yourself for calculus. That's the final module here. Everything involving gradient, derivative, rates of change, differentiation from first principles. Also limits. LIMITS. Yes, limits is actually a massive topic in this part. And ADMATS, they just kind of mention limits there and then go into differentiation. In this, they expand on limits, and you need to know how to operate with that, which is part of calculus. Calculus is the mathematics of change, and limits is where the change comes to a point where you can determine some mathematical quantity. Integration, and then we mash our brakes there. So this brings us to the paper. So anybody know what the paper is like? Am I to go on this class assuming that nobody knows anything at all? By the way, doing this class though will give you a huge jump on your classmates if they're not taking lessons during the holidays. Or like you watch some of the paper, and you watch some of the past papers. Right, that's good. Some people saying nope. This will give you a huge jump on your classmates, because imagine in September, a lot of people will be starting dry like this. A lot of people, I say most people in pure math starting dry in September. So when you come in slightly wet, slightly damp already in September, it's going to be a big booster for you. You mightn't crack 0 on your first test, right? Alright, so the assessment is very similar to what we do in maths. How the marks are arranged. Did I snap it? Right, so here's your outline of the assessment. Bam. Hopefully you're seeing that there. This is exam time, which is basically these two. So next year exam, you're going to do a paper 1, but instead of 60 questions like maths, it's 45 questions, right? Compulsory multiple choice questions, same 30% vibes. Paper 2 is actually 50% this time. What's the time? 50%, 790. We'll be on good time. Same thing like in maths, and the school-based assessment is 20%. So anybody know what the SBA is like? What the SBA is like for this? Nope. Alright, so the SBA, so the SBA is actually not really a SBA itself. Now, when we do it as exams, and I think what CXC stipulated. So, and most of my students as well did it as exams. Most of the lesson students that I taught. So let me just snap this little tiny piece there. Shouldn't I stand up and read this? Alright, so this paper is intended for candidates registered through school or the approved. By the way, anybody here not going to do pure maths through a school itself? Because I never really met anybody who did the alternative paper 3. But like if you're doing applied, anybody doing applied? Yeah, Shania doing applied. If you're doing applied outside of school, you might have to do the alternative paper 3 in applied. By the way, if you're doing applied, start that revision now too. Don't play around with the applied. Alright. I can tell you a good few people, Form 6 people messaged me for applied advice during the exams, and I couldn't help most of them because I was just too busy doing no other stuff. So it's actually tests. This is what they want to do. 3 class tests for about an hour and a half. The teacher might give more time. And it's internally and externally assessed. So you kind of had to be at the tip of your game for this. But however, okay, data is outside subject. Which more challenging between applied and pure? Applied is exactly as the name says, is more like the application of mathematics in terms of the application of mathematics in real life. Applied is normally the harder one. Let me just say. Applied is normally the harder one for people. Pure is normally the easier one. Applied syllabus, not as, from what I see, I didn't do applied myself, but I teach a few people some stuff from it because a lot of what we do in engineering is applied maths. But anyhow, from what I see, the applied syllabus not as long as the pure maths syllabus. So take from that what you want. But the applied is the harder one for most people because you really need to have a mathematical brain to do applied, or at least practiced mathematical brain. The easiest one is integrated maths, which is what some med students might do if they're not really into the maths thing too much, or business students might do that if they're not going into a heavy maths field. Or you just want to do some maths but not too much maths, you know. Integrated maths is basically add maths with a little wider syllabus. And some parts of it actually easier than add maths, but it just covers some more. The duration of each test is the test must run individually or collectively. 3 modules, right? And you must include mathematical modeling. So this is where the mathematical modeling part come into play. What is needed for engineering? It depends on the engineering you want to do. But you can get into any engineering, basically any engineering, if you do physics, chem, maths, pure maths here. Physics, chem, maths, and I basically get into any engineering. Some people who want to do biochemical engineering or something like that, instead of physics, they do bio. But once you say engineering, it kind of best you do physics, right? So any engineering, mechanical, chemical engineering, geoscience, what is the one I'm leaving out? Electrical. This is the big three in UE: mech, chem, electrical, physics, chem, maths. You're good to go. Which is basically like the toughest subjects in CAPE there, right? Alright, so let's take a little better look at the exam. Let's talk a little bit more about the exam. The exam, paper 1, 45 questions. Each question is 1 mark. This paper contributes 30% to the final mark. Any more questions, by the way? You're allowed to use a calculator in paper 1. You're allowed to use a calculator in paper 1 as far as I know. Yeah, so in paper 1, you're allowed to use a calculator, but there's repeat even heavier in paper 1 in CAPE. But yeah, so remember how they repeat so much for them, and we did a lot of lives and so, and they repeat a lot for CXC. Good news that trend continues right into CAPE, and it's heavier so in CAPE. I'm speaking to probably one of the best maths teachers I know in Central in terms of lessons, and people know his name and stuff. That is like, I call him my teacher. He was lamenting that whole thing. We had a big long discussion on that. But it's going to repeat in CAPE, unless because they realize people kill off the multiple choice thanks to a certain person, and they decide to start bringing some more new questions, right? If you see the smile on my face. Yeah, so the multiple choice in CAPE is repeat real heavy. And the link that you all had on the WhatsApp group, So use of calculators is allowed in this one, but here the funny thing for paper 1, Here the funny thing for pure maths. Sometimes you sit down and do a whole exam and realize you didn't touch a calculator yet. So, like the higher up you go in maths, the less calculator you use. Many times in engineering exam, you do a whole maths exam and your calculator was just there watching you. The only time you really use your calculator is when you need to, at the end of a trigonometric question, and you have to find the sine inverse or something. That's the only time you really use your calculator. Write out a whole long piece of paper, exam paper. Remember I tell you that. And you didn't really use your calculator because the maths not really heavy on arithmetic. It's heavy on every other thing, right? So the paper 2, 6 questions, 2 for each module. Paper 2, 6 questions, 2 for each module. Let me see if I can pull up something. Yeah. Each module is worth 50 marks, I think. Each module is worth 50 marks. I just use my calculator for 9 plus 8, just to be sure. I tell you, it's no certain 9 plus 8 in these exams. But no fully where you're coming from. Alright, so the composition of the paper. Yes, 6 questions, 2 questions for each module. All compulsory. You know that's the route we're moving down now. Everything is just compulsory, no choice or any kind of thing. Each question will be based on one or more topic in the module. It could have a single team or unconnected team. I don't know what they write that for. It's not like they used to tell you that before. Okay, they tell me that. Question may require an extended response, blah, blah, blah. Usual thing for a paper. They basically say in structured paper. That's what they say there. Structured paper. Right? There's something important at the end of this though. Let me see later. Right. So each question is with 25 marks. Each question is with 25 marks. The number of marks allocated to each question will appear in the brackets, but each module is 50 marks, so the thing is total is 150 marks. So it's 150 marks. By the way, what's the time on this exam again? 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it's a little tighter. Time, you see time? Time is an issue. That's the next thing you'll start to realize. Yeah, lots of maths. Excuse me. Now you remember maths, how much maths was? 100, I think add maths was 120 or somewhere around there. When you see 150 marks, there's a lot of marks to rack up there, man. There's a lot of marks. So time is always ISU. My lesson students who are really pong, and drill. Sometimes when they do the exam, time run out of time. So after you understand something in pure maths, now the thing with pure maths, when you start to do the past papers, you notice you'll have huge chunks of information that you just need to memorize, like starters. Like, okay, let's say induction. You have 3 styles of induction. You memorize the 3, and then you just have a little piece of something different that is add-on. You see this initial part, you mightn't fully understand what I'm talking about just quite yet, but at least I talk about it so it was kind of stick. These initial blocks, you have to memorize them and have them quick in your writing, so that when you're doing your exam, you're only left to do a little bit of thinking, and then afterwards everything is clockwork. It'll take a lot of practice. So obviously you could use a calculator, you could use your bad calculator, your Casio. I don't even know how to rest on Casio right now. Whatever. So you can use a Casio to help you out with your differentiation and thing. Anything else I want to say about this boy? There's the same there's a little, you remember KCR, knowledge, comprehension, reasoning. There's reasoning, there's knowledge, and there's conceptual knowledge. And the 3 awards of maths, but they're not that important for a student to know. You can not know that and still do good. And then it goes on to the school-based SBA, any types of questions, blah blah blah, award of marks, in the paper 3. I think that's enough. That's enough for that. Let me see some Y's in the chat if you're good with that. Any questions? Let's pull up this final assessment grid here so we can watch it and smile. Wise. Alright. So final look at the assessment grade. You could probably screenshot this to get in your system, maybe watch it down. I'm gonna come on the way, you can take a screenshot there now. Pow. Right? Basically the same thing we talk about here. 20 mark exams, each exam with about 20 marks. 3 exams add up to 60. That's the SBA. And then they divide that by 3. Oh, and that's the next thing I wanted to say with the paper 2. So this 150 marks going to get divided by 3. The paper 1, these 45 marks going to get boiled down to 30. So if you watch carefully, you're getting the most value for money in the paper 1. So you wanna right next to my school, they open a new Starbucks, and every time lunchtime I come in, see what the students, as I said, applied maths and pure maths, just sit down beating out that paper 1. So you want to really own that. You have to make this your slave, right? Or another word other than slave that I can't use. So you need to really deal with your paper 1, deal with your paper 2, deal with your SBA. Alright, so why is any chat came already? What's the next topic? The next topic that I wanted to speak about was, so we talk about the syllabus, we talk about the exam papers, textbooks. Now I looked at all the textbooks, at least all that I see in the bookstore, and I wish I could have buy all, but I had to exhibit restraint, and I couldn't go all out. But I have some textbooks from before that I bought. I have the 2 best textbooks I find. This one is relatively new. Let me make myself a little bigger there. Any noise you hear in the background is I don't do anything. I didn't really mean to go in the center. I just wanted to get a little bigger. Ah boy, it's still shining like usual, boy. Alright, so pure maths. Why are you fuzzy? So pure maths. a complete course for CAPE. I'm just showing you this one. They're not the best one I find. This one is by Raymond Tulsi. All you know that name. This is the man that is do everything, everything in maths. By the way, nobody pay me to tell you anything. CP, what I recommend is my own recommendation. CP Publishers. You can always come back to the video afterwards if you want to look at the text. This one is good for reference, and especially the questions, because it's kind of run out of questions in this book. And sometimes you ever meet a book that could give false hope, sometimes this book is giving false hope too. Oh, by the way, certain parts of this looking like here looking white, but it's not really white, it's blue. It's just that the filter on right now. Let me take off that. Nah, I don't want to take off the filter. Right, so this is unit 1 thing. The part, any part you see in white must be blue, eh? Right, so this is the first book. If you're feeling to spend your parents their money, buy this book too. But the book to get for sure, and the book that I'll be using a lot in this class, I find this one is the best one. How much for this book? $215. Yeah, them books cost a lot. $215. This one is the one that I find is the better one. And some of these things here, as I say, blue, but it's showing up a different color because I'm on a blue screen. Alright, so this one is by Dipchan Bahal. His sister, I think, taught me maths in school, but I had to take lessons. Alright, she's not a bad teacher. He's a boss. He went to school in Perth and he's a scholarship winner. And he's a boss. I think he's a scholarship winner, but he's a boss. This man in maths is a boss. Especially when you see how his textbook is laid out and thing. This is one of the best written textbooks I find in mathematics in the Caribbean. So this was pretty good, this textbook. I can't open the textbook because I don't want nobody see I showing the textbook online and all kind of thing. I had to be more careful as a channel, especially as I get bigger. So even though this is a private stream, yeah, so I'll be referring a lot of homework and stuff from this textbook. So the faster you can get this one, the better. So let me just write the names on the screen quickly and we'll go on into some work. What's the time? 7:36, which leaves a good nice hour and 15 minutes, and 20 minutes to do some work. Come back. Well, I'll write it here for now. So, boy, once you write the name, you're good to go, you know. The name, Dipchan Bahal. So this is the author of the one I find is the better one. And if you want another one for reference, the second one you're buying is the one by Raymond Tulsi. The faster you can get these books, the better, but especially the first one. Right? So those stick. Now your school might tell you to buy another book or whatever, or you can do all you want, but I just tell you why I find it the best, and I watch all. I watch all that's in the bookstore, and I constantly be watching all. And I will start to buy some more too just to compare. But even the ones that CXC recommend that too, but CXC be recommending some. Imagine CXC recommending some GC textbooks and things. This is one of the better ones. Make sure you buy the updated one, because the syllabus changed back in 2009, 2013 or somewhere around there. So yeah, 2013 I think the syllabus changed. So if you buy an old one, you're getting messed up. Like you buy a whole unit 1 book and it's kind of useless because they switch up some parts from unit 1 and bring it back in unit 2, and they do some kind of simile with unit 1 and unit 2 back in 2013 and in 2009. So you don't want to have an old textbook. So if you're borrowing a textbook from your brother, cousin, auntie, whatever, make sure that the textbook not too old, otherwise it won't work good. Right. So there's textbooks. Everybody go to them textbooks there. Anybody buy any textbooks yet? Any textbooks or have any textbooks yet? If you bought any textbooks, have any textbooks, let me know. From about September, I'll be going really heavy on this in terms of homework. I'll be telling you to maybe do an exercise from the textbook and stuff. As I said, maths is something I teach totally from my. I don't use textbooks at all for maths really. I make up all my questions in maths and use past papers and internet and things. But in pure maths, it helps to use a textbook. Yeah, so you could kind of start to go for these guys in terms of textbooks here. and get an early start. And now, I don't know about you, but I was the kind of student, when I buy a textbook, I was trying to read through the whole thing and understand the whole thing, and that used to make me pretty ahead of the class. So if you get the textbook early and you start to review some stuff for yourself, even though you don't understand, some of the stuff you might read and it might just be like, you're reading it for kicks, but as you start to go forward, you'll see, and your teacher or me reach the topic, you'll see how useful it come into play. Alright, so the first topic is reasoning and logic. I'm just using this slide that I have here for now, but I'll have to go into some other stuff. Reasoning and logic. The fun thing about reasoning and logic, although I'm not looking very fun right now, is it one class per week? Yeah, one class per week. The fun thing about reasoning and logic is you'll start to see some things repeat in terms of concepts and ideas. So Shania, Anika, Quinn, Patrice, Corinne, well, Christopher, how many of you all did IT? Let me see if you do IT. The class finish in 9. The class finish in 9 o'clock. It's 2 hours. How many of you all did IT? If you do IT, I think I saw one other name, Braden Jennings. So Quinn did it. So everybody who do IT, Megan, right? Who do IT, you get a little props here. So IT helps. IT helps and physics helps in this topic to understand it. Now, this is the first topic in the textbook. Do not underestimate this topic. It starts off simple and jokey, and then when you reach the identities and thing, it get confusing as hell. So let me see what I have prepared here. Statements, proposition, truth table. So this is basically what I prepared. I'm going to actually do a small little tiny video and post this up on the general public in terms of this. But we're going in depth in class. But on YouTube, I'll just be doing little small videos that easy to watch so that people will actually watch it. Although pure maths and things get under 100 views on my channel. You know, it is to do a whole video and get 50 views, 60 views on a video. Pure maths. But anyhow, it's for the people, them 60 people will benefit. Alright, so statements, propositions, truth tables, negation, compound statements. So that's what we're trying to look at for today. Statements and proposition. Statements and proposition. So it's two things. Like one textbook have it a little confusing, and I see it in the next textbook a little confusing too. But the definition for proposition and statement are a little different. A statement is just a statement. I know, never did IT. Right, you do physics, well, yeah, you would have seen logic in physics, Patrice. The logic in physics will help in this. So we had to take notes. That's strictly up to you. I mean, the video is always there to go back. What you really need to do, like some people are notes-taking people, some people are not. So you need to know what is the best way for you to learn. In maths, you need to write. So anytime you see question stuff, you need to write that. So you definitely need to have thing and stuff and you're taking notes. I would advise for most people, like 90% of people might need to take notes. So statements, propositions, right? So there's a little difference. A statement is like, you know, it's a statement. A statement is like something straight up. I have some examples set. This is red. That's a statement, right? It's just straight up. A proposition could also be this is red. A proposition is more something I could prove whether it's true or false. Alright? So example of a proposition, I am subscribed to Sir's channel. That's a proposition. Because you can prove whether it's true or false. And hopefully the proposition here is true. Now, some things to note here. You see this P? Normally it's common, Normally it's a common P. We use that to, let's see how a bit common here. We use that to talk about the propositions. Like we remember, like f of x is a function. So the P here is like the label for a proposition. Good? And this T here is the next thing to look out for, because that is what we call the truth value of the proposition. So the truth value of this proposition could either be true or false depending on whether you really subscribe or not, right? So if you're not subscribed to the proposition, P is false. Some simple thing. Another thing to keep in your mind, keep in the back of your mind. True here could be like 1, and false here could be like 0. Remember logic? 1 0 1 0. So true is like 1 and false is like 0. And in maths, you could actually use the 1 and the 0 sometimes in questions. Let's go on. How many side chicks does the Zessa have? Is that a statement or a proposition or both? Answer that in the chat. Is that a statement? Is that a proposition? So our 9 viewers tonight. Is it a statement or a proposition? I see somebody say P for proposition. Is it a statement, a proposition, both, neither? What is it? More answers, don't afraid to get wrong. Shania says none, is not a proposition, is not a statement. Oh, she's in none with a question, right? I don't know that. I'm waiting for one more answer. I don't know. Guess. But guess and get wrong, and then guess and either get wrong or correct, and when you get wrong or correct, it will hurt a little more, you remember. Neither. So both Quinn and Shania actually correct. Hard luck there, Anika. Oh gosh, you're going up a statement and then say it's none. So it's none, it's a question. This is actually a question. You can't really prove whether this is true or false. How many side chicks does this man have? Is that true or false? That's not you can't prove that. So that is nothing. That is not a statement or a proposition. That is a question. What about this one? 2. Hey. Oh, I thought the answer was going to pop out there. Where the pause button is, by the way, right? Oh, I can just pause by writing. Okay. So look at these others. So this was like question 1. This is question 2, 3, 4. Is number 2 a statement or a proposition? So we deal with number 2. You can write out all if you want. So is this a statement or a proposition or neither? Is this one a statement or a proposition or neither? Is this one a statement or a proposition or neither? So it's none. Some people saying it's a statement. Excuse. This one is nothing. This one is not a statement. You see how we have X here? We can't really prove anything because X can be anything. X could be 6. Now you know, you must understand what I mean. X could be anything. You know, X here had to be bring across the 5. Then so X is 2.5 in your mind. You're thinking, right? But X here could actually be anything. Remember, X stands for a variable. X could be, we can say X is anything. We can say X is 3. And then it will be 2 by 3 is 6 plus 5 equal 10. 11 equal 10. This is a proposition. We're saying is 11 equal to 10 kind of way. This is a proposition. And then we can prove whether it's true or false kind of way. But you see, once you have a variable in a question, you can't call it a proposition. Yeah, that's how it works. So once again, is this a statement or a proposition? Neither. But it is a it's not a proposition, but it is a statement. I'm just saying X plus 5. This is a statement. This one is an equation. This one, once again, is a statement, but it's not a proposition. So none of these are proposition. Proposition, the key about propositions, they must be able to prove whether the premise is true or false. A proposition is something you're stating boldly. For the people is a statement. Yeah, it's not a proposition. Right? Let's keep going. So question, equation, statement, but no propositions yet. So we'll come to the good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about truth tables. Let's just get the definition of the truth tables down. Displays all possible combinations of truth values in a convenient way. That is a table, a truth table. But more on this later. I think I have more on this later. Here, more on this later. If I disappear here, bam, more on this later. Alright. Negation. So we're coming back to truth tables just now. In fact, a lot of this class may be on truth tables in terms of questioning. Shania, that's unit 1 and unit 2. Shania, then start to link the resources there, boy. Alright, so negation. What is this negation thing about? Let's see what I have written here. Remember NOT, the NOT gate in physics? I think it looks something like this. The NOT gate. So if a 1 is coming through here, it turns to 0. Or if it was a 0 coming through here, it turns to 1. Negation works something like that. Negation flips a proposition. So a proposition might be like, my shirt is red. I can prove whether this is true or false, right? Hopefully I see that red day. Now, if I send this through the negation machine, so I have the proposition. The proposition is equal to my shirt is red. If I do so, then the negation of P would read something like, my shirt is not red. Understand? It's like the opposite. So it does some weird stuff in terms of logic that I need to keep in mind when you start to assess truth tables. So the example I had here was I got a 1 in ADMATS. So what would be, write out the negation of this? Any negation somewhere. Write it out in the comments. That's an easy one, right? Yeah, it have a little delay. Oh God, don't do that. It have a little delay anything, so when let's see. I did not get a 1 in ADMATS, right? Very straightforward. I'll let any careful this one already. So I did not get a 1 in ADMATS. Alright, don't write that. Unless I mean you did not get a 1, you actually get a distinction, you know, a 1 at a time. Right? Don't write that. Next thing you jinx the thing. Before delete your comment, retract that message. Let me move forward. I think about the negation, if P is true, then the negation of P will have to be false. If P is false, then the negation of P would be true. Right? Makes sense, right? If P, now we list out P like this. 1, P could either be 1 or 0. Then the negation of P would be 0, 1. Flips. Right, like that. I think that's where I have up to, because the video that I'm going to do, let's have a little bit more. Okay, I write this up. The video that I'm going to do for the public is just going to be a short little video, right? What do you think when I'm going this column there? Zion! He can't walk there. That's too big. What do you think when I go in this column here? This is like the negation of the negation. What's going to happen there? T and then F. That's correct too. So we're going to put T here and then F. So what happens there is that we notice that P is actually equal to that. And these statements are known as logically equivalent. Anytime you have the same thing occurring, the statement is logically equivalent. I wonder if I give away enough things to ask some questions there, boy. Boys, are we going to do some questions now? No, we have some other things to talk about. So we're going to talk about compound statements. Somebody say compound statements. Compound statements. Compound statements is the real deal. Compound statements is the all our beginning there was like the start. Remember when you do indices and you just talk about to the power 1 and to the power 0, and think compound statements is when you reach the addition rule in indices and start to get things where you can ask more questions about. So a compound statement, the definition of a compound statement is that it forms from two or more simple statements. Now there's some stuff to know about this. A compound statement is joined. The two statements are joined using a connective. So it's like you have. Now when I do this, when I watch this in Form 6 at your, yeah, that's good, Shania. So when I watched this in Form 6 back in the days at your age, I was like, this topic so ridiculously simple. I'm not gonna, but trust me when I tell you that this thing could get confusing to the max. Maybe even in this class you'll begin to see how you need to not play the fool with this topic. Alright, so compound statement is like you have one statement here, you have something in the middle here, and then you have a next statement. So I might have my shirt is red, and I might have the time is 8. Time is 8? About 8 p.m. 1 hour again too. So my shirt is red, the time is 8. The two connectors we're going to talk about is like and, or. And, or. And, or. Right? So the two connectors we're going to talk about are these. This one and this one. Where do you remember these guys from? IT, physics. Right? AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate. Hopefully I'm not talking to myself here now, you know what I'm talking about, right? Now in maths there's a different way for the AND and a different symbol for the OR. The symbol for the AND looks like this. And the symbol for the OR looks like this. OR. Sweet, right? And you're going to do a lot of symbols. In fact, the big tie-up in these things is the symbols. Should not take that bite. Now I can't talk properly. And thing is toasted bread, so problems to chew it by. But I was feeling too hungry. Right. So we might label this statement P, and we might label this statement Q. And you start to see all the fun happening there, right? So then you might say P and Q. P and Q in this case mean my shirt is red and the time is 8 p.m. So if I do it like this, P or Q, that would mean my shirt is red or the time is 8 p.m. That carries a whole different meaning. Let's explore what happens when we do a truth table for the and the or. And IT and physics people already have an idea of this. And again, to go to a new page. Where's this? Alright, new page. Somebody mentioned me in a comment on Facebook there, and I'm very curious when I see that name. Alright, so P, Q, and P and Q. Can you all fill out these? Now, what you're going to have to happen here, right? There's a few ways you can do this. You can do, let me see how the book is do it. Right, this is how I do it as well. You can do true, true, then false, false, then you do true, false, true, false. You want to know why we're doing it like that? So we can get all the possible combinations. We can get true and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. So that's the way how you write it out. Right? These little small things is just make sure your speed game, remember I say speed, your speed game on point. So P and Q. What would go here for P and Q? Write it out in order. This, that, that, that. By the way, remember this could be 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, what do you have? 0, 0, 0, right? I'm missing some names, boy. I'm missing them, the fellas, them Darinish, some of them, anything, Videsh, Ikesh. One or two of them said they wasn't going to make it on the class itself. But as I said, when the adrenaline start pumping, it's going to be crazy. But let me hope the adrenaline start pumping like March, April, 2 months before the exam. You see everybody in class. Why is in the chat? Why is in the chat? Alright, so true, 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 false. P and Q means that both of them, very good Shania, Megan, Patrice, both of them must be true for it to work. P and Q must be true for it to work. So that's correct. True, because both are true here. But anytime you have a false, it would not work. False, false, false. So if I said P and Q and my shirt is red and the time is 8 and the time is 8, then the statement is true. But if my shirt is red but the time is 9 o'clock, then the whole throw the whole statement away. The statement false. The whole thing false. You understand what I'm saying? If my shirt is blue but the time is 8 o'clock, the whole statement still wrong because the statement saying both must be true. When anytime you use and, it means both are true. Like if you say, this is George. George is my boyfriend. This is George and George is my boyfriend. You understand? This is George and George is my boyfriend. If his name is Harry, then the whole statement false. If he's not your boyfriend, then the whole statement false one time as well. But or gets a little different. So like we conserve digital paper here and just just erase off this little part here. Remember the and looks like an A without the thing and the or goes next way. So you have a boyfriend. Here where you reach now, boy. Alright, so ignoring Shania. If we go to or, what will be the answer here? Instead of doing that, let me take an experiment. I use the term boyfriend because I only see girls in the chat. And one boy, I think I see it there. So now I send out that answer there. And you can send out the answer and Google block the answer, which is looking like tough. Alright, so I guess that's the consensus. People saying this. What went on with that T there? TTTT, TTT, TTTF, TTTF. But that's wrong. So let me use the example that I used once again and see if we could examine what would be the correct answer. My shirt is red or the time is 8 o'clock. If both are true, my shirt is red or the time is 8 o'clock. Oh no, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. My bad. Your shirt is red. Oh yeah. Sorry. My bad. My bad. That's correct. True. 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 F. In my mind, I was thinking of something called exclusive O. So that's correct. My bad. Alright, so or once you've seen a true, once there's a true, then you must have a true. So that's it for connectors there. Maybe I can start to hit some questions. Should I? Yeah. Alright, so we gonna do some questions here. This will take a little while. Wait, say I get bummed. Sorry about that. So, question 1. Determine if the following are propositions. So if you all have the book, I would be able to just use questions from the book and save some time. Or save some time on me having to write out questions or me having to devise questions. And pure maths questions is not the best things in the world to devise. Although these questions kind of easy. Today and Saturday. As a drive to the supermarket. Market. Curry chicken. That is delicious. Is that? Send a pic on the. Nope. I ain't sending no pics of nobody book. I ain't sending no pics of the book. As I said, I had some talks with some people about certain copyright stuff, and try to be a little careful. Today is fat. Sat. Saturday. All you could send pictures and thing in it. It's just I can't send pictures. So like when they get the book, all they do, all they have to do. All y'all are students, that's no problem. People just print out whole textbooks and things, and them not know. But I'm a teacher with 23,000 people on YouTube. If anything get out, people could make a scene. I just had to be a little careful. Sorry. Especially how I do that whole sort of stuff during the exam time. I take a risk for the people there. Anyhow, give me the answers for A, B, and C there so I can write the next question. So each of you already symbolic form. So all you did is screenshot this, so all you have it done already. Because I'm going to switch in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if one person happens to get the picture and sends it to everybody else, that's that person. So are we waiting for some answers there? So true, false, true. Early isn't true, false, true for that, but yes, yes, understand. So today Saturday, yes. Yes, so good. So this is a proposition. This one is not a proposition because there's just a bland statement. You know, you can't really prove right that it had not true or false day. Curry chicken is delicious. You could prove that yes or no. So what we're looking at is question 5. Question 5, which is in the group. So looking at question 5, which is in the group. No, sorry, not question 5, question 4. So let me see the answers to question 4A. A, B, and C, and D. But let's start with A. Question 4. Everybody seeing it? Let me see some Y's in the chat if you're seeing question 4 in the group. Some people watching it on their phone. So when you go into the WhatsApp group, come back. It's like you're going in between. I wonder if it could come down small in the corner. Because like in my phone, when I come up for YouTube, it's come down like a small video in the corner. And then you could see a thing and come back. So you're writing on the answer. You're writing on the answer for question 4A. So question 4 is let P be Alvin is tall and Q Sintra is short. Write the following in words. P or negation Q. I ain't seeing an answer yet. I'll just send some answers for the people, please. What's going on here, my man? It's that stick on. Correct. So I'm not in the group yet. You're not in the group, but then how you get the link to the live? How you get the link to the live if you're not in the group? What? What magic is this? Quinn, how did you get the link to the live if you're not in the group? Anyhow, the answer correct. Do the next one. Do the next one. So as you figure out how to do the next one, I'm going to write a rule here. So that's what the next one is. How does the distributive law work for this? I'm going to call it De Morgan's rules, because that's what they call it. Rules or laws? Laws. De Morgan's laws. This is how it actually works. P Q this is actually equal to Quinn Black has left the live. No, for real, Quinn. How you have the link to the live if you're not in the group? I'm real confused. The only thing other thing I have is the Google Classroom, and I didn't post the link on the Google Classroom. And I think I see about 15 or so students around there, that number, on the Google Classroom already. Signed up for the Google Classroom. Let me get the exact number. Oh gosh, I clean up all my phone. You know, your phone is starting to get hosted that apps and it's get clustered and thing. Just delete them apps and or delete the shortcuts for the apps and get your phone looking back to normal. Pure Maths Online classes, Pure Maths Online. 14 students. So 14 students inside the Google Classroom. So and y'all, I'll post the homework kind of late this week. It'll be like about Wednesday, because right now it's correcting papers days in school. So my mom was at it instead. Oh, I hope you're organized with the admin, Quinn, because you know that. I mean, as a nice guy, as real giveaway and thing, but Chappy and them need to get the milk too. They need to get that milk money, man. Right? So make sure you organize with them. And if you're not paying this month, because there are some people arrange some deal and then they'll back pay depending on what happened then with the choices or some kind of thing. Make sure you talk with the admin and we're working out. We'll work with you, but you work with me at the same time. Right? So y'all watch this trick that happening here. When this going this way, all of a sudden this is go that way. Now we're gonna waste a little time, and not waste a little time, use some time very wisely and try and figure this out. So remember, P is my shirt is red. In our example, ooh, I managed to skip the brush past me there. And the next one is the time is 8 p.m. So my shirt is red and the time is 8 p.m. Looks like this. Do you all remember what the and looks like? The and looks like this. I need a new page. I'm running out of space. The and looks like this. True. And then false for everybody else. That was the and there. So this is my shirt is red and the time is 8. So now what about if I negated that? What's going to happen? What is going to happen? Remember the negation, and this is where the fun part or the tricky part starts to come in, and this is going to turn to false, then the others are going to turn to true, because that's all that symbol does. It just messes up everybody, switches them around, right? So like if you're a boy and then you do so whaps, bam, it's Gil, right? Right now in the word that's so applicable. Alright, so my shirt is red, time is staying, you have your and, you negate it, and all of a sudden you get this looking thing. Now, to get that looking truth table, you organize with the admin. Alright, cool. Once you organize with the admin. Yeah. It's how me motion I and jumping down the where the memes are, Quinn being black has left alive. That was just so funny. Alright, so yeah. To actually get something that looking like this, you'll need P, the negation of P, and the negation of U. Oh, now let's see how this will work. So we are saying that this is logically equivalent. You'll remember that word? To that. That is logically equivalent. So let's just prove that so we could see. We could. I guess it will help you remember it more. These are the kind of things that help me remember stuff. So negation P. So remember P would be like 1, 1, 0, 0, and Q. I don't know if you remember this 1, 0, 1, 0, or T, 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 F. Let me just zoom in so I can write properly. T, 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 F, F, T, F, F. And if I OR this, no, sorry, this is like P and this is like Q. So if I negate this, I will get F, F, T, T. This is the negation of P. And if I negate Q, I will get F, T, F, T. And now, if I OR it, which is this, if I use the OR, by the way, the OR is called a disjunction, and the AND is called a conjunction. So if I use a disjunction, this is going to be false. Hey, don't stick there, brother. This is going to be false, but the rest of them are going to be true. And what does this look like? This looks like this. Yeah, so why isn't it chat if you understand the logic behind that rule? So you could just take the rule as it is, or you could understand the workings or the logic behind the rule of how it actually works. And obviously, if I have it this way now, then it turns to this way now. So if I have the OR, I can just put back in these symbols. If I started off with the OR, I end up with a. So when you're sending negation into the brackets like that, that's what you get. So the answer for explain the last column. This last column here. This last column is the OR of these two columns. Kind of messy, but oof. Let's get rid of the mess and let's go on a new page. So just so you can see it properly. Copy. Alright, I don't think I copied it. Copy and paste. Bam. Get rid of you. Cut. Right, so I missed a piece of the T here. So you see some Y's in the chat there. So what happening here, I just set off P, I set off Q, then I set off what the negation of P is and what the nut of Q is, right? Which will just flip around P, flip around P, flip around Q, flip around Q. Sometimes when they're doing this stuff, they might put this here, and then they might put this next to it. So the columns might be next to each other so you can clearly see it a little better. Or sometimes they'll have it like this. This last column here stands for this or this. So the OR says once there's a T, there's a T, right? So only the first part will have false, and it turns out that this is the same as this. So since they are the same, I can actually say that this rule here stands, right? So let's continue with the work in the group. By the way, don't forget, anybody who here not on the Google Classroom, well, I feel everybody here on the Google Classroom already. Sign up on the Google Classroom. I'll be sending the homework there. I'll remind you all. Let us. I want that truth table, boy. Alright, do the truth table for this. Ignore any questions in the group. So come off of the group. Do the truth table for this. Complete this truth table for me. So you have P and Q, and you have your usual setup here: 1 1 0 0, 1 0 1 0. So you may have to do insert separate columns, but this is the final column that I want you all to finish for me, just so that I get an idea of how to use the truth table and trace through a truth table. So do this column here for me. Finish this column here. So this is the column that I want right there. How will that column look? I think we have some time to do conditional statements. So I'll just eat this last piece of bread here. Wait, where is that answers coming? Right? So we get answers. We back down to one answer. Oh my god. No twos. Alright, yeah, one. If I made them twos, they were. So just because we don't really use that zero too much in maths, I just going to change it to T00. That's 0, 0, false, false. So we get some answers there that 0001. Okay. So if you have a question like this is how I do a question like this, okay? I have my P, I set up my Q. So I set up my T, T, F, F, T, F, T, F, T, F, T, F. Then I check and see what I want here. So this is kind of messed up, so I need to break this down. If you remember, we break this down. This on the outside will go into the 2, but the sign flips. So this, that, this, that is actually equal to, and by the way, some of these things pop in your multiple choice. This, that, and a double that. So anybody started off like this, if you didn't start off like this, you could probably end up in problems. Problems. Excuse me. That's a negation sign right there, right? So we expanded the brackets now. Why is in the chat if we get up to here? We expanded the brackets just like the distributive law, but the only thing we had to change this around, right? This was pointing for and or conjunction. So now it need to be a disjunction. Or. So which means I need to set up and get this, and also I need to figure out what this is. If you remember from before, let me just copy this. Why things I don't want is come out from copy, paste. If you remember, we're going to see why. Yeah, this is actually this part. You remember what this is actually equal to? Just Q. That's the double negation thing, or the negative and the negative is the plus, like what you say, Shania, right? So, I made a mistake. This should be P, right? So the only thing I really need to find extra is the negation of P. So that is the next column I would have done. No, so I'll come here and put anywhere I see true, put false, anywhere I see false, put true. And now I need the OR of these two. Now it doesn't matter that it's back to front like this now, because there's an associative law, and I think I'll just go through the laws and we'll call that George. That'll be the end of the class. So we'll just go through the laws without much explanation. I'll do the laws. So when we start back next week, we'll be starting on the laws. You'll get some homework based off of what we do. We'll be starting on the laws, but I'll go through most of the laws that I can. There's 8 laws. So just like how you had laws of indices, laws of logs, laws of the laws for the logic. What I was doing, right? Yeah, so we have a table here. Let me just get this color gray. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That. So what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. You all remember the word commutative? Commutative talks about commute, your order, your direction you go. So it doesn't matter if I have Q or P or P or Q, same result. Alright, I behind myself, yes. It doesn't matter if I have P or Q or Q or P. It doesn't matter if I mix up the order. Order is unimportant, it's commutative, right? So you notice how the table have it back to front here, but this way is what I really need to get. It doesn't matter. So now all I need to do is fill out the O, and that will be the answer. That will be the answer for what I'm trying to get here. So I could come back and write what I'm trying to get. So it goes this, that. So as I said, simple, but it could get little tougher. It could get a little fantastic. And my answers are going to be this. So I just need to think in terms of that. The negation of P or that. So or means anytime there's a true, put it. So there's a true here, put true. There's no true here, so that's false. True, there's true on those last two, so true and another true. That's the answer. You all get that? Why is in the chat if you understand how I get that answer there? Look at that, more bread. $38 minutes ago. So let's spot the next question here quickly. Let's do one easy one, and then we'll do one hard one, and then we'll go to the laws. So can you do this one? This one. So do the truth table for that, the entire truth table, and this is given. What did I have? National P. Q. I can give you the P and the Q, right? It's always going to be the same. T. Remember, P just stands for proposition, whatever it is. This is an F here. So go ahead and work out what this would be. That one is pretty straightforward. You'll just actually need to get one column extra. So what goes here, what goes here? That's what you're doing. So this is an easy one. See if you can get that one. And you can jump out quick. There were TF. I'll wait till I see a couple more answers. Time is always speed up in the last half an hour, but whoa. Because we still have the whole set of laws to do, so I need some time to do the laws. Anika feels wrong. TFTT it looks like now. So I say easy stuff but hard stuff at the same time. Easy hard stuff. Alright, so let's see. So we have Q already, but we don't have the negation of P. Nope. So let's put that in there and figure out what that is. That'll be F, T, T. Wait, now there's no way just to. Oh shucks, my bad. So yeah, so when it's like a trick question. So anywhere you see true, you put true. Right? Alright, so now to do a little harder one. Try this one. Just click a little drastic. Should I show you all this? This is a little crazy. Let me see if I see a kinda easier one but a harder one at the same time. Otherwise I'm going to throw it all into the fire, which is not going to be so fun. Okay, try it now. This one is well what I'm looking for. So can you give me like a truth table for this? The truth table for this. Essentially what I want is the final column, but if you did the whole thing and you want me to see it, you could just wow, you could post your picture of it in the WhatsApp group. No longer trying to draw a straight line here, boy, and you know I have a ruler in this thing to draw a straight line. Bam. So that is what we're looking for there. No, this is not into the fire yet. The into the fires come when you have 3 variables. But this is near the fire. This is near the fire. But the into the fire part comes when you have 3 variables, like P, Q, R. When you're adding R, the table is getting long. This table here would still be short in terms of vertical height. When you're adding R, you're adding a good few more columns, 2 to the power of 3. Right, so 3 variables, 2 to the power of 3. 4 variables, 2 to the power of 4, but you'll never get 4 variables. F, T, F, F. You working real fast, boy, Anika. So it's kind of important that we establish this one, and then we need to establish this one. So the very first one that we need to establish is P and Q. So I just go in and squeeze up things here because I don't know how much I need. I didn't do the question before, and I don't have any answers for the question here. So P and Q, you know that is the usual thing. 1 1 0 0 0. Sorry, start at 1 1 0 1 0. What we need? P or Q. Let me get them that one time. P or Q. 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 Alright, I had no reason to squeeze up that, so because I just need one more column after this. After this, the only column I need is the negation of Q, and I'm good to go. Patrice, I see your answer as well. Google was hiding it. Yeah, use capital letters now, for goodness sake, man. Alright, so why are you using ones? So stuck in the land of island music. Alright, so yeah, it doesn't matter, right? You understand. So this is true. We deal with alls. So true, F. Negation, get them a 0. Give them a, not a 0. Give them a false. Give them a true. Give them a false. Give them a true. Everybody understand up to that too? Yeah. Physics is have its point. So now what we're doing here is AND. So you must get AND relationship between these two. AND means that you must have 2 T's for a T to pop out. Only 2 T's here, so and all the rest are false. So FTFF. FTFF. If you're not glad I used to see that, I get that one right, eh? Maybe you could do one more. Maybe you could do one more since they're starting to sharpen all the chops there already. No, that means that they learn something in the class. Thank God they learn something. So you learn something in the class. You already start your journey into pure maths. You could go and watch your mother and say, "Mom, I've started the journey. I've started the journey, Mom." Let me see if I get one more. I don't want to give you only one with the tree. You know what the hell? Let me get you one with the tree and we'll explore that. Since you started journey, and you did so well, let me just mess you back up. Negation of P or Q and R. Let's do this one. Now, you may not know how to start with this because I really didn't really tell you how to start if you see a R, right? So I will just get a little boom there. Never play marble pitch before and you get a boom bay. Right, so I'll give you a little boom there. So what was going is have P, you have Q, and you have R, right? Now if you just have P and Q is 1, 1, 0, 0, that is P, and Q is 1, 0, 1, 0. When you have R, things get a little hot, right? Meaning you just go down a little deeper. To know how far you have to go down, you see how you have 3 variables there, that is 2 to the power of 3. So you're going to have 8 horizontal rows, 8 rows, right? And let's see how you do it. In the first row, in the first column, the P column, you're going to put, and I'll put the same 1, 0 thing in there. You're going to put T 4 times, true 4 times, and then false 4 times. Oh jeez, I didn't want to be in the good thing about it is I could just slide across and come here. So, alright, I hear now. Alright, so and in the next column, what do you think going to happen in the next column? In the next column, you're going to put 2 trues, 2 false, and then you do the thing again. 2 trues, 2 false. And what do you think going to happen in the last column? I don't know if you catch the little kind of weird pattern that happening here. You're going to put true, false, true, false. That should be a F, false. I don't know why when I say F, I think in T sometime in mind. So you're just oscillating it like that. I don't know if you catch it. It was big, 4, 4, then it turned to 2, 2, then it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? And now you begin your journey into the wilderness there. You begin that journey into the wilderness, folks. And let me see if you all can figure out what's going to happen here. Which person is going to figure out what's happening there? Yeah, this is bad. Shouldn't I really like maths, but like me, this kind of thing exciting, yeah. So see what happens there. I'll give you all some ideas of the columns that you'll need to fill out. You'll need to fill out this column and you need to figure out this column. And then you just OR it. You just OR it, people. OR it or AND it, conjunction or disjunction. Which one is the conjunction? Which one is the disjunction? Conjunction, disjunction. Waiting on some answers there. Why is I waiting on some answers there? Let me remove some shine and take some picture for Instagram stories. Bam. Oh yes, Lord. 8:44 in the night doing some pure maths. Nothing like some pure maths in the fresh Monday evening, am I? Nothing like some pure maths on a fresh Monday evening. Nothing like T triple F quadruple T's. Everybody else get that? Like, who was first out the dance there? Megan. Megan, congratulations. Like some pure maths classes. Boy. WhatsApp 790-8813-868. And I think admin watching the class. 868 to join the class. Bam. Alright, so we get that. We all quick. Shania, gotta step up the game. Oh yeah, in your mind you always have to keep telling yourself, go faster, go faster, go faster. I remember that. You want to improve your quickness with less mistakes. But you won't make too much arithmetic mistakes in this, because it didn't have much arithmetic. You just have real logic in the maths. Alright, so the next part is easy. You just need to make sure you make no dumb mistakes, as I said. Negate that, so let's negate that and see what happens. I think you'll get a F. So anytime I see in a true, I put in a F. Anytime I see in a F, I put in a true. A false, I put in a true. And then my final column here is going to be, well, I want to AND the Q and the R. So the Q, sorry, let's use the correct colors, man. The Q and R, I want to hit them at AND. So AND mean only if you see two T's pop, then you pop a T. Pop a T. So there's going to be a T here, because I've seen two T's pop. Where else did I see two T's pop? Let me just get the two T's. The next two T's here again. So let's pop a T there. Pop a T, pop a T. Okay, I hope all the correct with them answers now. Q and R. Q and R. Okay. So false, 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 false for everybody else. And finally, I want to OR these two columns. So OR mean anytime you see a true, drop down a true. So my answer, my final answer, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be T, 3Fs, T, down to the end. Yes. Slow clap. Right. So this is cool. So what's the time? 1:49. A quick look at some of what we are going to be dealing with next week. Some of you all may get the textbook next week. Some of you all might say, Virgin, slow your own paycheck ain't come in yet, or month end gone, and I spent all the money already. But then paying for your lessons, and you talk. So you had to wait a whole month to get a textbook, or 2 months to get a textbook. But the faster you get the textbook, the better. And you'll be able to read ahead, especially people who are excited about it. Some people, and it's best to do the pure maths. When it's the higher up in education, you start to reach, you start to only do things that make you smile. You don't want to do too much things that get you angry right through. Right? So the laws, very quickly, and we're going to go through this in depth next week. I skip one small topic. Well, not a small topic, but I just skip it. That's the use of this. This is a conditional connective. This means Q only happens when P happens. So a statement like that would be, my shirt is red, so I am sweating. It kind of carries the idea that since my shirt red, I am sweating. Right? It's like a given, it's like a condition. You call it a conditional. Not conditional probability, but it's a conditional statement. What's the exact word? Blah 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 blah. Biconditional statement. Biconditional statement. or conditional statement, right? Whoa. By conditionals when you have the double arrows. Yeah, just call it a conditional statement. But the biconditional is when both of them depend on each other. Right? So if you get the book and you watch it, you'll be well prepared for next week. And then you'll be able to ask questions like on stuff that again problems with to understand by yourself. So ignoring this topic because we come into that next week. The rules, which we also come into next week in depth. Look out for your homework. Your homework will be some of what we did today. The rules, they have 8 rules. There's the idempotent, not important, idempotent laws, which says that P or P is equivalent. When you see three signs like that, I mean equivalent. It means all the time, no matter what you do, no matter what the proposition is, no matter what the proposition is, this happens. So, and when you see this might not what? But think about it. One, P is 1 1. You can think of it like this: 0 0, and this is 1 1 0 0. If we OR this, and since I'm using P, I can just use 1 and 0. I don't need to double up anything. It's 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. If we OR this, OR means, why am I using 1 and 0? TF. Once there's a true, there's a true. If there's no true, there's a false. So P or P is P. Also P and P is P. Well, because it's an and as well, right? So those are the idempotent laws. That's number 1. And we'll go through the whole listing properly next week in terms of I'll have it set up and stuff. The associative law says, remember, associative talks about grouping. It doesn't matter which one we do first. Once again, with these laws, are using the equivalent symbol. If I do the first set first or the second set first, it's still equal. You'll understand the associative law, right? Why is in the chat if you remember your associative law, commutative law, and distributive law? Because those things trickle in into everything. Logs, indices, right? The commutative law works as well. P, right? So it is commutative. And it doesn't matter whether you're using a conjunction or a disjunction, and or, it still works. So we reach law number 3, the distributive law. The distributive law is a little strange. But it also works. Also, sets help you to understand this as sets. Like I don't know if you remember, but we didn't do much sets in maths because they take out sets, so you just probably speed through some sets in multiple choice. Anyway, let's wrap up very quickly. P, Q, B. I want to put R. No, I don't want to put it like that. There's switch it here. R. Just so that you see how it distributes now. So this is the commutative. This is the associative. Remember the keyword to remember it, associative is group. This is the commutative. Keyword to remember with commutative is direction, and this is the distributive. Keyword to remember with distributive is across the equal sign, how it distributes, right? So this will actually distribute like that. So why is in the chat once again if you think you understand what happened here? Bam bam. So that's rule number 4. The identity law now says P or a false will be equal to P. Right? P or a false will be equal to P because the false are all true. Okay, let me explain again. 1 0 false. Shucks. TF false, false. That is rustiness, boy. Alright, so TF, false, false. So if I OR this is going to be TF. So it equals to P. See the truth table works. Hey, I ain't see no Y's in the chat. People still here? People still here. We have 3 and a little bit more minutes, people. This year's identity law. Once again, I'm going through this in detail next week. The identity law comes in 4 parts. You have this. You have what about if we OR with the truth? Let me put the and. P and with the truth, you get back P as well. Right? I feel I had a wrap-up class. So P OR with false equal P. P and with truth equal P. P OR with P and with false equal false. P and with false equal false. And P and P OR with true equal true. Right? We'll explain that in detail as the identity laws. Finally, last 3 laws, you have the complement laws, where we have this equal that. We talk about the different rules regarding that and what could happen there. There are 3 parts in that, but I'm wrapping up because people like the knocking out. And the De Morgan's laws, which we mentioned already. If you have one of these linemen on the outside, you just bring it on the inside. You open it up, but you must change the sign around. And we show how this works already. And the absorption laws. This one is a little weird. That is how we write this one. Up, right. So it absorbs. So this law is basically that. And if you reverse it, it will turn to. It will still be that, right? But if you reverse it, it will turn around. But it'll still be P. Alright. So you got that, George, for today. It was nice. Let's do just a quick recap of all the stuff we do. We do all reasoning. We started off with, we did all of the syllabus. To talk about the textbooks and to talk about the exam. It took me about 40 minutes to talk about that. Then we did these stuff. We did statements, truth tables, negation, compound statements. We also went on to do examples in tracing a truth table, use of De Morgan's laws, use of the negation, and addition of the third variable, and what happens. 5 students on the first class. Yeah, I tell you that number it might be so far for August until August. But we'll stay here with the diehards and Nika, Shania, Quinn, Megan, Patrice, all the usual suspects, and those who fly in and out. Hopefully Ike, Shan, Vide, Shan them jump back in the game later on. Let's be the class prefects. Alright, yeah, I would need some class moderators, so I'll remember your names, and as the class grow, like especially as we go into next year and coming out again in the next year, and I hold some crash courses, and the class will just bulge like January, March, April, class will bulge. Yeah, y'all will help moderate the chat. But I hope all your moderation game is strong and all fighting with people in the chat too. Somebody was fighting in the chat the other day and doing maths, that maths prompt. Anyhow, that is enough talk. It was nice earlier. Look out for the homework Wednesday for the latest. Should be Wednesday for the latest. I have a maths class every Tuesday. I also have an ad maths class, but the ad maths class may take a switch. So I'll have to talk to the ad maths students. So I have the ad maths class, I have the pure maths class, and I have the maths class. I can let people know. The ad maths class was carded for Tuesday, but to teach 2 classes in a row could be a scene. Alright. Hold it down. Good night. Enjoy the night. I hope all enjoying all your holidays, and I didn't take away too much from all your holidays. With all this logic talk and truth and false and thing. Try and get the text. Try and get your hand on the textbooks. See you later. Any questions or queries? Drop it in the